This is for Heidi's eyes only. So it's a song Heidi taught to me when I was a kid. And if Heidi is watching this somehow, she'll know instantly what this is. So, you gotta have good coordination to be able to do this, first of all. And I don't know what the song's called, but it goes like do do la do la day do la day do la day do la day. So yeah, wherever you are, Heidi, it's been like decades, and I've never seen you. I know all the stuff that you had to deal with after you got married to that guy. And, he started cheating on you. I was a little scared. Uh, I was a little kid in Sunday school back then, and I wish I could have done something to help. But yeah, well, maybe you'd like to hear about how I figured out that this whole Abraham, Isaac, Jacob thing is not for me. Like I'm backing out of the church officially. Because I want to side with Ishmael. I want to side with Hagar, and that's the side I want to be on. And that means, defecting from Christianity, and that's what I'm about to do. I'm with this whole Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, yeah, true God, one God, chosen people. I ain't trying to do none of that. I ain't trying to be part of that. So, well, I missed you, Heidi. I thought about you a lot of times. And I wish somebody would have followed up after I disappeared from Sunday school. I wish somebody would have followed up and tried to find out where I am and how I'm doing. But yeah, I know you got your own stuff to deal with. So, well, I'm 34 now. I was sitting in your lap that day when I learned the song and I saw the whole sermon. Pastor Paul did did his whole sermon, and I was sitting in your lap that day. I don't know if you remember it at all. I was a little kid, and you were a teacher at the Sunday school. And today I have no parents, I have no adults, I have no community, nobody but that little bit of human decency that you showed towards me. I still remember it. And I don't know where you are today. If you can bring the same Heidi in front of me, because I literally just feel like you're an angel, like literally seeing God is how I'd feel if you showed up here today. Because nobody's ever treated me like that ever since. Nobody's treated me like a child, like a son, like a brother, like family ever since. No birthdays, no Christmas. That goes to, who? Shimron Gill. That's for Shimron Gill and his natural born American kids. Yeah, and Deborah and her kids. That's for Cloris Benedict. That's for Shalom Xavier. All of that. All this cultural gatekeeping shit is the reason I'm here, and I'm still stuck here, with the do la. Although I appreciate it, Heidi. I appreciate that you gave this to me, because this is one thing that separates me from them. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Hagar, who? Well, she deserved every bit of it, You start talking about that the other day, I was like, because I work on a BPO, I make cold calls. I made this cold call. I'm like, well, hey man, you want to sell your house to me, because that's the job I was doing then, acquiring off-market properties. The guy's like, you want to hear about Jesus? I'm like, well, that's not what this is about. I'm talking about your house. If you're trying to sell it, I can give you good money for it. And no, let's talk about Jesus. And I, brought that whole thing up. Okay, let's talk about how there's this maid who gets, expelled from Abraham's house, and she has to, starve in the desert while she's with child. And the dude's like, okay, well, no, I'm trying to talk about Jesus. You know, he's getting all hostile and shit. So, well, that's what the church is being to me. You know, also making things sexually awkward all the freaking time, dude. When I could have just understood the whole thing like other normal people are supposed to understand it. No, this is supposed to happen a different way. If I'm supposed to get introduced to all this, if it's my duty, my responsibility to contribute towards the continuation of our species, well, somehow all this other crap has to get mixed into it too. You know, chosen people, Abraham, Isaac. I don't want that, so I might just convert. So Heidi, so sorry. I wasn't there for you, and I haven't reached out, and I haven't tried to find out where you are and how you're doing, and then I'm backing out of the church. But that's it. That's what I gotta do. You know, it's always been about defending yourself from Muslims and all this stuff that David Wood's throwing out there about, you know, the Prophet of Islam and whatnot. You know, I can't care, dude. I can't care if in the end that every single Muslim believes that, you know, if I'm a Muslim, then I'm, you know, part of the same family, part of the same lineage as Ishmael. I want to be there. I'd rather be there. Muslims are so much nicer to one another. They're so much nicer to me too. No Christians have been as nice as Muslims have been to me, really. And at first, I was taught to hate Muslims. You know, Muslims this, Muslims this, Muslims that. And there are bad people everywhere, bad apples everywhere. But where I've met nicer Muslims, they'd be nicer than any other Christians I've met. You know, of course, I met Heidi and Kim and Donna and all these Sunday school teachers, and they were genuine. These people were actually genuinely looking out for kids. I don't know where they are. I've never seen them, you know, from that time when I first saw them at the Sunday school. Because I'm here at the Sunday school at a Baptist church, and somehow, you know, things change at the house. You know, the family that I'm living with, they decide, well, because you're going to a Catholic school, and we can't afford to pay your tuition fees there every month. Here's a great idea. Let's just convert you to Catholicism. You know, and they actually fucking did it. They got me baptized at a Catholic church. They ripped me out from the Sunday school setting. And it's like, first Holy Communion. You go ahead and get that. Baptism, Catholic Church baptism, Holy Communion with the Catholic Church. I'm not even like fully getting accepted there, dude. That's not where I started. It's like as a kid, as a child, where I'm still learning, you know, coordination, you know, this stuff. Where I'm still learning that, dude. I have I have to give my butt. It's like, here's my ass, Catholic Church. Here's my ass. I'm here to hand it to you. That's what the fuck happened. And they're all just, you know, some weird kind of sorcery shit. They have that, and they use that over me. You know, projecting intrusive things onto my pineal gland. You know, vulgar shit onto my pineal gland. And it's all just normal. It's like routine stuff, dude, for them. They have the ability to do it. But I sound like a crazy person, obviously, because now I'm talking about, you know, stuff that you can't see, you can't touch. But I know these people, and I know how they're operating, dude. It's all like, Abraham, Isaac, getting up. Yeah, I ain't trying to be part of that. You take that shit out of here. Because if that's what it means to be Christian, I'd rather be a Muslim. Rather be a Muslim. They have responsibilities, they have duties, and they fulfill them. They're just like, oh, I'm so in the spirit. Oh, hallelujah. Blah, blah, blah. Today I feel like praising the Lord. But right now I feel like, dude, you know, it's not like, and do whatever. That's not their religion. This is that time when you wake up in the morning and you pray. You show yourself to God. It's like, God, I'm here. 4 in the morning, God, I'm here. 1 in the afternoon, God, I'm here. 4 in the afternoon, God, I'm here. 6 in the evening, God, I'm here. 6:37, God, I'm here. God, I'm right here. 9 in the night, God, I'm here. The same thing repeats every day. And as long as they're doing that, they're spending all that time right in front of God. Everybody knows, hey, this dude's clean. It's between him and God. I ain't got nothing to do with whatever it is that he's got going up here. God's going to deal with it because he's giving time to God. He's bringing it in front of God. The rest of the week, the pastor is out, just being this Instagram influencer. His kids are doing that, at least if the pastor is not doing that. But he's living that sort of a fucking life. Sunday, he's like, oh yeah, man of God, chosen person, chosen people, appointed leader. Cultural gatekeeping is what that is. I could have graduated, dude. Could have graduated. I could have gotten a degree from a university. If people were just as invested in my future, if they cared about it, if they really wanted me to make the progress that Shalom Xavier's made, Simeon Xavier's made, Arnold, Jonathan, and Nigel Xavier have made, Shimron and Sharon Gill have made. Because you're all the same thing in the end. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Yeah, that's what you guys are. I mean, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. There's Ishmael, there's Esau. How could you forget that? How could you forget Hagar? How could you forget all these characters? And you go, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Jesus. And we get straight to Jesus. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, Jesus. I mean, like, come on, man.